So this is the MacBook Pro 14-inch 2021, and in this video I'm going to be doing kind of a real-world test of the battery life on this particular machine. So be sure to smash the like button and subscribe below, and let's get into it. How's it going, y'all? It is Ben Aqua. So I'm comparing the specs between the 14-inch MacBook Pro right here and the MacBook Air M1 on the left. And interestingly, the MacBook Air over here gets 15 hours of wireless web and 18 hours of movie playback, which is actually more than the 14-inch that gets up to 11 hours web and 17 hours of movie playback. But in my experience so far using this 14-inch MacBook Pro, 10-core CPU, 16-core GPU, 1TB model, the battery life has been really decent, and I really just kind of charge it once a day. So you can see I have the MacBook Pro plugged in and I am at 100% on the power adapter. So I'm going to officially unplug this. So now we're on battery, we're at 100%, it's 11:47 a.m. So first of all, I have some files that I want to transfer from this RAV Power SSD. So this has my main Final Cut Pro library, all of my music productions here for Ableton Live. So I'm also going to transfer those. So while I'm waiting for those files to transfer, I head over to YouTube Studio and just check out some of y'all's comments, reply to some stuff. I also checked out Twitter a little bit, and be sure to add me on there at B3NAQUA. I did a little bit of light email and stuff. And then I went over to YouTube and watched a little bit of video. Shout out Technically T. Okay, sweet. Those files are finally done transferring. It's 12:05, still got 100% power after a pretty lengthy transfer. So let's open up Apple Music, and I'm gonna listen to some tunes by connecting my AirPods Max. I'm just gonna make me some lunch here. And while I'm eating my lunch, I start to airdrop these video files that I'm filming on my phone to the MacBook Pro so I can start editing them in Final Cut Pro. And I just really love this workflow of being able to shoot really high quality videos on my iPhone and then airdrop them to my computer. It's just super convenient and really speeds up my overall workflow. And here's me pretending to be in deep thought as I edit the video that you're actually watching right now. All right, now we're back in the studio, and let's see how we're doing on battery life here. So you can see it's been 1 hour since we started this test, and the battery is down to 88%. And this is after editing this video for maybe about 20-25 minutes so far. When using apps such as Final Cut Pro, Ableton Live, like really graphic or audio or editing, you know, kind of intense apps, the battery will definitely drain faster than when I'm just kind of browsing the web and that kind of thing. But this is a real world test, so this is really how I would use this machine. So to conserve a little battery, I'm going to disconnect the AirPods Max and then connect a wired pair of headphones, the ATH-M50X BTs. I realized I needed to record some voiceover stuff for the video, so I plugged in my Rode NT USB Mini into one of the USB-C Thunderbolt ports down here. I haven't had to go back to dongle life yet on this MacBook Pro because of all the extra ports, so I must say I am really enjoying that aspect of this. So it's been 2 hours now since I started this battery test, and let's see how we're doing on battery. We're down to 69% battery. So while the battery is definitely pretty good, it is leaving a little bit to be desired here. After just a couple hours, I'm already down to 69%. I mean, considering the performance on this machine, I kind of expected the battery life to be a little bit better. So just to mix it up a little bit, now I'm editing some music using Ableton Live, and this is a very CPU intensive app right here and tends to completely decimate a battery like within a few hours or so. So I've been editing for a few minutes now. It's 2 p.m. and we're down to 65%. So I'm just gonna edit this song for a little while, and also be sure to check out my music on Apple Music and Spotify by searching for Ben Aqua. I highly appreciate all your streams and support. And over here is a real-time reading of the CPU usage on this MacBook Pro. So you can see that it's using about 33 to 35% of the entire CPU. And since this is a real-world test, a lot of times I will do some web surfing and stuff. While I'm working on music, I'll like open Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram or something just to kind of pass the time a little bit while still having the song playing in the background. So using definitely a bunch of CPU right here. All right, so I've been working on this song for several minutes now, and I just saw that the battery went under 50%, in just under 3 hours. So if this continues, it seems like the battery will die in another, 2.5 hours, 3 hours or so. And to give myself just a little bit of a break, I'm just gonna watch some Netflix for a little while and test out the HDR capabilities on this display. It's just absolutely beautiful. The colors look awesome, sharpness, everything looks really good. All right, so break time is over and I'm back to editing the video. I've been editing the video for several minutes now. It's 3:17 p.m. and our battery is down to 38%. So I just took some photos using my Sony a7C and I'm going to import those files now using the awesome card reader. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that finally being back on the MacBook Pro. So these are the two photos I'm going to import. And while those are adding, let's see how we're doing on battery. At 3:30 p.m., we're down to 33% battery. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are we gonna make it till 5 p.m. on one charge? So those photos are now in Lightroom and I'm just gonna do some light photo editing here. Lightroom and Photoshop are optimized for the M1 chip. Especially Photoshop seems pretty snappy on the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, noticeably snappier than the MacBook Air M1. But the MacBook Air is still incredibly fast as well. So these deer were just right outside my window and I happen to have my zoom lens. So I did a little more editing in Final Cut Pro and I just realized it's been about 4 hours. We are down to 26% after 4 hours. So if this pattern continues, I should be able to get about 5 hours of battery life doing all these kind of intensive tasks. So after a bunch more editing in Final Cut Pro, it's 4:34 p.m. and we are now at 11%. And I'm starting to get a little nervous that we won't make it to 5 p.m., which is kind of my goal right now. So it's 4:37 p.m. and I finally got that notification that says low battery. This is the point when I would usually plug the computer back in, of course. And now it's 10 minutes later, 4:47, which is officially 5 hours after I started this battery test. And let's see how we're doing here. We have 6% battery left. And since I started getting just a little bit nervous, I actually picked up my MagSafe cable to get it ready, just almost as a reflexive action. So I was watching the clock super closely and at 4:59, y'all, the battery finally depleted and the screen went to this black screen, as you can see. So I'm gonna plug this in because I don't wanna have like a full-on panic attack here. So peace is finally restored. We are back to charging. And yeah, we started the test at 11:47 a.m. and we made it to 4:59. So if I can do math correctly, let's see, that's 5 hours and 12 minutes on one full charge. And that's using this computer, again, very intensely with Final Cut Pro video editing, Ableton Live music production, some light photo editing, some Netflix. I answered some emails. I did all kinds of stuff. It's not bad. It's not amazing. Like, I'm not completely blown away by the battery life on this machine, but 5 hours and 12 minutes is pretty good. I kind of want to do this test on my MacBook Air M1 now to see if that one can actually get better results doing kind of the same workflow. So anyway, let me know your questions and comments below. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.